What's
Hey
up?
girl, we back.
We back again. What's up? How are you?
I'm good, I'm good, I'm enjoying the fall's coming. I told you that's my season, that's my time,
It's
my time.
your
So
time.
I'm ready to watch the Halloween movies. Normally I start watching them in July. This year I didn't. This year I didn't. Well, really August, July. This year I
Wow.
didn't.
Excited much?
I, I waited till almost October.
Okay.
We're proud of me. We're proud
Okay.
of me.
Pat yourself on the back. Um, I'm
How are
good. I'm
you?
glad. I'm glad to hear that. I'm good. I'm good. So, a little opening up or a fun fact about me is I enjoy like energy drinks. I drink them often. The bad terrible, terrible, terrible like habit that I picked up. So I'm now trying to swap it out for coffee.
Coffee,
Um,
okay.
Coffee. So yeah, I'm trying to do like the lesser of two evils, if you will. So and today is National Coffee Day. I don't know if you know that, but
No.
I'm trying really hard to like get into that. So yeah, just pray for me because the energy drinks they're not good for the heart. So I really gotta like drop it. I gotta drop it. I gotta let it go. So I'm switching and I'm doing my best. But other than that, I'm good. I'm excited
Yeah.
about the fall too. Everybody knows I'm a summer girly. I love the
Mm.
summer. It's my thing. We like the yellows and the oranges and the pinks and
But
we love
you
it.
got like the
Love it.
pumpkin patches. You got the cute pictures. Like it's coming up. It's
That's
coming up.
fine. That's fine. That's cute. That's real cute. It's just not summer for me, you know. Um, but but I'm going to embrace it.
Yes.
I'm going to accept it. I'm going to accept it with a smile. So I'm looking forward to doing all the cute things with, my boo. So I'm excited about the season now. So like enough chitter chatter. Welcome to another episode of Pink Tax Chat. And we talk about everything. We talk about family, friends, relationships, finances. We talk about
Adulting, we sprinkle
adulthood,
all that.
parties,
All of that.
A through Z. A through
We
Z.
do.
Yeah.
We do. We
So
cover it.
we do. And I'm excited about today because we've been on a kick. We've been on a roll, right? When it comes to like this dating series. And this is
Hmm.
another episode of that. So we're gonna touch on another topic and it's called gaslighting. I
Hmm.
want to know, honestly, this is a little bit of like a question for the deaf community. What is the right sign for
Appropriate.
gaslighting? I'm curious. We're gonna sign it gaslighting for the sake of this conversation. What are the other ones you saw?
I
You had showed me recently.
saw something with gaslight,
Gaslighting.
something, some.
Gaslighting.
I don't
Well,
know. I saw
I don't know.
something, but I'm gonna be honest. Me pay attention to full
Gotcha.
sign that way.
We don't
Did
know.
not.
Okay? We
No.
don't know. We're
Accountability
doubtful.
have a
We're doubtful. We're not
fault.
sure. So,
Fault.
like, educate us and let us know. But we're gonna continue for the conversation. We're gonna say gaslighting. And you know me. I love to give a definition, and then once
Yes.
I give this definition, I'm gonna and let you talk. Okay.
Yes.
So like before we dive in too much into the conversation, gaslighting for anyone who doesn't know or is not sure or isn't clear is literally a psychological manipulation that causes you to like question your reality, your memories and your perception. So it's simply like for me, the way I remember it, it's basically someone trying to convince you that you don't know like reality, or they make you like doubt yourself. Like you're like, "Mm,
Look,
am I tripping?" You start
that if you're asking
feeling,
yourself that, am I
asking
tripping?
yourself, like, am I tripping? Like, did I miss something? Like that is probably a really good
Like
sign that
indicator
person,
that
yes, that person may be more than likely gaslighting you. So I'm gonna zip it out. That's the definition. That's the
mhm,
definition. That's
okay.
typically what to pay attention for.
Mhm. So for me, I'm gonna use my notes just in case I forget, like
You good, girl.
explain.
You good.
But so I didn't know I'm a social work major girly. So I've tapped into pretty much almost everything. So my social work internship was at Dawn Domestic Violence Agency, death-based domestic violence agency in Washington, D.C. And one example that was really well explained is the cat wanted to make an appearance.
Hey, it once it's 15 minutes of
He
spy. Go
does, he
ahead.
does.
Let her live. Let her live.
But so one example was, so for example, you and your partner, you have keys and you're getting ready to go. And we'll assume you live together or you're leaving, whatever. You're getting ready to go.
My dog.
It's just the
Nice.
animal.
Nice. There
I'm
he
sorry,
is.
the animals just want to like show up. And yes,
That's his moment. There he is right
yes.
there. Anyway, sorry about that. Go ahead.
This go back to my point. So let's say you're getting ready to go and you're looking for your car keys, you're about to leave, and you put them on the table because that's where you always put them on the table, right there. And you're like, hey, babe, have you seen my car keys? And that person you're dating sees you like really looking for them, they see you feel like,
Feeling it anxious and
and then later they pop up with the key. Like, what would you do without me?
mm,
I found your keys.
mm,
You couldn't find your keys without me. It make you feel like need. But
mm.
the whole
Codependency.
time they had the keys.
Yeah.
That is a form of manipulating
Yes.
your
Yes.
memory, your
Yes.
perception of things. You knew, you clearly remembered you put it on the table.
Mm-hmm.
But they took as a form of control, a form of manipulating your memory
Mm-hmm.
so that it makes you start to question like your mind,
Yeah.
your sanity. Like, am I really forgetting things?
Mm.
Like, am I? That is
Okay.
gaslighting. One example.
That is that is
That is
wow.
really like it's something so small, but it
Mm-hmm.
becomes like a big like indicator of that key point to your relationship.
I think it's a good point that you raised, because typically it probably starts in little things like that.
It is
Little things that add
small
up
things.
over time. So they start by like planting those little
The,
seeds of doubt that make you like ultimately like dependent on them, or make you
yeah,
feel like you can't make decisions without them, or you are maybe becoming not trustworthy, like you don't
well, not
trust yourself,
trusting self
that you don't trust yourself, so you're like depending on them, you're looking to them for that
for,
guidance, you're looking
for
to
the
them to
answers.
remind you, and they're
Yes.
probably feeding you false information, false
Mhm.
memories, false perception. That is a very scary
That's a
thing. Like,
very dangerous territory to enter.
Yeah. I
because
mean, but
it's
it's a
like it's
form of emotional like abuse. That is
abuse.
what it
Yeah,
is. It's abuse. It's emotional abuse.
it is. It's very, and it's small things that you can miss. It's small things you're not paying attention to. It's because it starts small in the beginning, and you're like, okay, well, thank God I had him to find my keys because then I'll
Right.
be able to go.
Mm-hmm.
How long
They
have I been looking
seem
for my
like they're a
keys?
savior or like it's a
Yeah,
good thing in the beginning. It feels like that
it
person
feels.
has your back, like they got you. But then
Yeah.
later you realize, oh, no,
Oh,
that's not the case. And I want to really call out this really important thing because although this is a dating series and we're talking about these different topics in relations to dating and romantic relationships, this gaslighting it applies to all relationships and one place you see it often and I hate to say it but
it
family
can
is
happen with family. It can happen with friends.
notorious
It can happen with your
family
partner.
it can happen it can happen at work girl
It can.
bosses be gaslighting the heck out of their
Mm.
employees your
And you know
your
what?
colleagues can and sometimes do gaslight you. You can feel like, wait a minute, I thought you said this. I thought the project or the assignment was this. Like they can have you feeling
And then
self-doubt.
you find yourself saving emails because you're like, I gotta
Mm,
save paper trail because I want to make sure I
my butt. Yeah.
see why I.
Prove that. Like, so I just wanted to call that out because even though this conversation is really centered, ooh, excuse me, it's centered on like dating and kind of romantic aspect, this is not limited to that. This
Not just
applies
that,
to
no.
all friends
All
too.
forms of interaction, relationship, so and so and so.
Yes, yes. Thank you for that. So I want I want to say one thing that is consistent with all of these different topics. So we've talked about breadcrumbing. We've talked about what was the other one? I'm
We've
sorry.
talked about spinning the block, ghosting, um, coming back from
Love bombing.
love
These
bombing.
things they're manipulation tactics. And one thing that you will constantly see come up in all of them is this need to control and
To
cause
manipulate.
confusion. So one thing I see is like synonymous or it's like a couple. You will see manipulation and confusion.
It
That
aligns.
the person is will use manipulation and it will cause the other person, usually that victim, to feel confusion. Anytime there's confusion, it's not a good thing.
Well,
You should not feel confused constantly. I'm not saying
and
like, you won't ever feel confusion. No, sometimes you need to like get on the same page. So you may have a moment where you're like a little bit like, what's up? And then you guys talk and you get on the same page. That happens, that's normal. I'm talking about a constant state of confusion, constant self-doubt, constant anxiety, constant um like worry, constant negative emotions that
feeling. It's a feeling
that
that doesn't sit well with you.
mm-mm,
And
yeah,
it's like, and it
there you
can
go.
make you at times feel like physically sick because you're like,
Ooh, talk about it. Talk about it. Because the
mm,
emotions, like we are holistic beings. So we're physical, we're mental, we're spiritual.
we're
It's
an
all, it's
emotional
mind,
vampire.
body,
Vampire.
soul, all. So when you're thrown off in one area, other areas of you and your being will be impacted. It will. So, like you
I
said, you
remember
can feel physical like symptoms of what's going on
you
here
feeling
and
sick.
here
You felt
and
sick.
here. Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember feeling like in a different situation, like I always have to say yes because I didn't want to upset this other person. Even though it didn't sit well with me, I felt like I felt obligated
Ooh,
to
obligation.
say yes. That I felt
Okay.
fine, yes. And then like I don't want to do that. Why
It's
am I
kind of
doing that?
like it's
I don't
kind
want
of
to do
like
that.
worship a little bit.
That
Like,
because they want you to worship them.
mm-hmm,
They want to feel, but they don't care about
superior
how
to
you
you.
feel.
No,
That they don't care about how
no,
you feel.
yeah,
Nah,
yeah.
and like here's another example. They will show you kindness. And when they show you kindness, you think like, oh, I wish they were always like this.
Mm,
But that's part of their charm. That's part of their like personality of doing that. So they like divert why your attention of why you're upset in the first place. So they don't have to take accountability of making you upset.
mm.
So when you do confront them, you're like, well, but you're being so nice to me, you know what? I'll just brush it under the rug this time. We don't have to talk about it. But no, you knew they were wrong the whole time.
Good, you said a cuss word. That word,
Accountability.
accountability. That's a cuss word when it comes to this thing called adulthood. Many
Mm,
people, myself included, there was periods of time in my life where I didn't want to be accountable for my actions, for my behavior, for the things I did, said, and how I caused other people and made them feel. And I
mm.
still have work to do when it comes to accountability. Like, but that is a whole cuss word out here for some people. Like, no, nobody wants to be accountable.
I mean, and I've admitted this in another episode. Like, honestly, I have been the villain in
Yeah,
someone's story.
you know
I
I have.
have been. And when I was the villain in someone's story, I think I at that time I didn't take accountability. At that time, I didn't know how to address things. At that time, I probably got to a point where I wasn't myself. But I had no right to treat that person that way
Yeah.
because
Period.
I needed to do better. I needed to be accountable of my action.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I definitely was a villain in someone's story, and I definitely could have handled things better, and I definitely could have address, approach, and take their feelings in consideration. You know what I
Well,
mean?
it takes emotional maturity to be able to identify that and recognize that about ourselves, right? So at that
Hmm.
time, we when we were not accountable, we lacked emotional maturity and like
Yes.
that is part of it. But now we have the ability to identify and recognize, like, okay, what I did, that was not okay, that was not right. And going forward, I can't continue to do that. I need to like admit, you know what, I could have, should have handled that better. My reaction, whatever I did, my behavior, not okay. I apologize for that. And part of the apology, I think, is so important, and we gotta work on this, like as a people. It
Mhm.
can't just be words of apology. An
Gotta be
apology is
action.
action. An
Yeah.
apology is changed behavior. And
And I
that's the
think,
part people miss.
and I think sometimes you can interact with a person and they, as individual, they're great people,
Yeah,
but you together, you're not
not
great
good.
together.
Not good.
And a big part of that is being accountable of recognizing that because it's drawing out unhealthy behaviors in each other. And you have to be able to address, okay, I recognize that I've been dismissive to your feelings. I recognize that I'm not handling your feelings well. I recognize that we're not
I'm not
interacting.
handling you with care. Care.
Yeah, that I'm not taking your feelings into consideration. And that makes me like, ooh. And you have to be like, okay, I think we're better off just not being together, not being friends, not being whatever, so and so and so. And those are hard conversations to have. And
Very.
sometimes it becomes really ugly.
It can. It
And
can. If you're
yeah,
not able to like confront that situation and the other party is not, like, if you're both not mature enough to see that situation for what it is, yeah, it can become ugly. But if you both like look at that situation objectively and you're like, You know what? You're right. It pains me, it hurts me, it's disappointing, I'm sad about it, but yeah, I agree." And you go separate ways. But you said something that, and you mentioned it in the other episode too, and I think it just highlights really well, unhealthy. These things are not healthy. You see these things in your relationship, it's not healthy. You don't want to continue, especially without addressing them. But even if you address them, I'm not sure um what you can expect after that. Especially if that person is gaslighting you knowingly, that person knows what they're doing. Someone who is choosing and wanting to manipulate you, that's not a good person. You may not want that person in your life. They're manipulating you for a reason, and it's usually control. And to have like superiority or some kind of power over you, that is not a good thing. So sitting down with that person and expressing how you feel, I think would be healthy for you to do so that you can like get it off your chest, you can vent, you can let that person know. But change behavior after that, I'm gonna be honest, it's probably not likely. It's
I
probably not
think
likely. That person
I
probably
think
will use the opportunity to continue to manipulate you.
and I think for me, the situations that I've been in, you have already gotten to a point where you've been in that situation for so long that so much hurt was already done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damage is
Damage
done,
is
and
done.
it's too hard to repair.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can't repair it. There's some things you can't
There's no fixing it.
repair,
Yeah.
but you can let go. You can try. And like I remember this video I saw, and the man said, sometimes you gotta let things go. You can love people still, but you gotta love them from a distance.
And that's
You
okay.
can wish them the best from a distance, but together we just not healthy for one another. And that's it's okay. Because when you've reached a point, you've been there long, at that, like, try. You did
That
try. You
emotional roller coaster
you did
of
it.
constant ups and downs.
That you did it.
And,
You
um,
did it.
another episode example. Sorry, I'm about to say episode. Hold on, let me back it up. Another example of this could be like if you're in a relationship, because going back to the dating and romantic aspect,
Mhm.
you're in a relationship, a committed relationship with this person,
Mhm.
and they constantly accuse you of cheating,
Ooh.
and you have not, but they are. So we'll see that. That's a classic thing you'll see. Someone who is cheating or is a cheater, a serial cheater. So they constantly are doing it and they're constantly accusing you of doing that because they know they are doing it. You're not. In that the idea of I'm doing something so you must be doing it too. Uh-uh. And I've seen people in situations like that where that person is a narcissist and they may have other like mental illness or mental health things that they're dealing
That
with or that they're
layer.
challenged with. And it can become really dangerous mental game, like mind games. That person can really actually convince you that you are cheating when you know that you know that you know you're not. That person can cause you to like question yourself, like, wait a
Well,
minute, did
question your
I
memory.
question
Question
your memory to
memory,
the
your
point where you're
sanity.
like, because their reaction and like, for example, that person may like fall. They may say, I saw it with my own eyes. I've seen some really terrible things. And can you imagine on the opposite end of that, you're like, this person
like,
is
what?
having like a real reaction. Did I do that? If it's a constant thing, so we're experiencing little technical difficulties and challenges because of the weather lately. But we're gonna begin. Also, my dogs.
Well, he better get a brand deal because he's not so. It did happen. But they did though. But you did. And you're like, wait a minute, I remember this specifically because we were talking about so. I know we argued like that. And you're like, you feel this, and you're like, no, I know, I know. And then they'll come with like, and they tell you that you're tripping when you know you're not. You're tripping, or you're feeling this, or yeah. What they should say is, I didn't realize you felt so strongly about that situation, and that was your perception of it. I didn't realize it that way. Then you have healthy conversation. They should not be changing your perception of things. That it's that I didn't realize how it went that way. It has to help discussion. And they don't take accountability. They don't take accountability for what they said. Or they could be like, my bad, I did say that. I did say that. And how I met ways. But you said it in you take accountability. You said it in this way. And when you said it why it made me feel. So like you have to tell me how you feel. You know, I have to ask you how it made me feel. I tell you, and then you. Oh. Ooh, that's the big one, golf. Big one, respect. I just finished today. Well, all of you who know me personally. I'm a big like book. Wait. I'm a big book reader. So I know. I just finished reading. Just finished watching a book that was adapted into a called It Ends With Us. And it's So domestic based on domestic violence, and yes, and the book is more I feel the book is more trigger warning, very detailed in the description. The movie too, but not as much. Not feel much. When you're reading it, you're like, and you're imagining in your head. I'm very like me, but that so hard to watch. So yeah, definitely trigger warning. Definitely don't watch that movie alone. But Tasha brought doubt. And in that movie, you see the main character who is the victim in this situation. She when he asks us, so and she hesitates to answer because it itself is not safe to give a genuine answer. That you feel not safe. Those are your warning, telltale to like I gotta leave. But of course, leave when it's safe to leave. When you have the resources to leave in a way that keeps you safe, you know. And often they will make you feel. They will make you feel not safe. They will make you feel like you can't be yourself in that situation. That is not healthy. That that not healthy. It's not. It's not. Ooh. Both ways. Both ways. And watching it, it's like you see it in action. You're like, oh. I did that. I did that too. Mhm. Mhm. No, for it's you need to have control. I feel it, thought you are the most important something person, and either situation, like, and like, it doesn't make you feel good, but either receiving or you're giving, you gotta nod, and teach yourself of one, few therapy, okay, it's okay, it's okay. Unpack. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mhm, mhm. No, no. Yeah, yeah. Mm-mm. You know, I'm not gonna say this, so I'm watching on make sure, in the comment, resources that we can reach out to so find what that you need. And like always, I say, like a inbox. If you have any chat, space, connect you to that resource. Yeah, yeah. Same, no. Overlooked. And no meditation, I sometimes I bring really hard conversations with hard conversations happen. They have to happen. It is. Feel good. Feel good. Until, bye.